Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is 8:46, so just became 8:47 p.m. December 23rd, 2017 is date and time recorded. I'm not starting this off with any audio. I'm just going to go straight to it and offer my 2 cents that's not important, probably viewed by 20. Lucky if, it gets any more views. I'm only going to talk about this once because I don't want to make this a clickbait video. And I figured it was very important. I want people my age. I want people who are coming up. And I want people who aren't hip to watch this. And I'm going to make sure this is as short as possible. I might fail, but if you guys pay attention and watch and learn something, this will be good. Now, as you can tell, this unpopular opinion video is obviously about DJ Akademiks. Now, the first time I've heard of DJ Akademiks, I remember I was working at Dunkin' Donuts around 2013. This was when I was working with them over a year. I heard about DJ Akademiks during the Control thing, where the video was like, and Kendrick gave all the hip hop dudes a wedgie, which is funny because I believe this was the time he was going to college. And then I seen a little bit his interview with Charlemagne. The first time I've heard of Charlemagne the God was during Vlad TV, and my brother was also listening to the Breakfast Club. That was the first time I've heard of Breakfast Club, because my brother was, while talking to me, watching a Breakfast Club interview with Marlon Wayans. So I was hip to it, and I started to get to know the show myself. Back to people that matters, because I will address Charlemagne later on. DJ Akademiks, I barely watched this video here on there, but I've always seen him on my YouTube recommended videos over a while. And around 2015, the first time I started becoming a regular fan was when he did a video on Earl Sweatshirt, and this was his original DJ Akademiks channel. If you guys want to watch his old school videos, there's a little bit more decent content on that channel than his new channel. And this is by no way or shape, form dissing Akademiks at all. I want to get that out the way. I'm riding with AK all day, all night. But obviously his old page, before it got suspended and he made a new account, got more fans, and that even got 1 million views. I'm not too familiar with the content he talks about, but I watch it out of support. But his older channel had more content. He wasn't really talking too much about the newer generation. It had more variety. Then I heard about the war of Chirac, and pretty much the rest is history. And that's when I became a fan. When he got a show in Everyday Struggle, that's when I was like, yep, this works, because he's an internet dude and he's finally getting some kind of break. The reason why I'm making this video on Akademiks, period, is the fact that this is an influence of mine. Because if I ever plan on getting big in the field that he got big in, then I would like to use whatever platform I can give, whether it be sponsored by Google or whatever the case, to get in my platform as well. And anyone who's trying to get into the media, like myself, anybody who's aspiring to get into the media like myself, should pay attention to what I'm going to say, because I'm only watching from the sidelines. But from what I can see, everyone needs to take notes from what Akademiks, because this could happen to you too. Now, we all know about Joe Biden leaving everyday struggle. That we don't need to explain that. You should be familiar with what's going on. And y'all also should be familiar with the Deezus Zamero situation. Now, I've seen a couple of Deezus Zamero stuff. They're okay. I'm not really too into it. I'm not here to diss them or whatever the case is. But I will say this. What they did to Akademiks, very low blow. Very low blow. Whether you're talking about the dumb shit he does, you're talking about him. Doesn't matter. You are still talking about him. You got mad that, Akademiks mentioned you. Maybe passive-aggressively called you trash, but whatever the case is, y'all got in your feelings. Period. So y'all decided to say what y'all had to say. Y'all felt the need to address him twice. That's more than enough. And here's my thing. Whether Carcino, and I'm going to address Carcino too, whether Carcino says, hey, this, that, and the third, yeah, hey, Akademiks an internet guy, but these guys had a platform, they doesn't matter. They may be on Breakfast Club, they may be on Hot 97, they may be on Viceland, they may be number one on late night, but bottom line, point blank, period, Deezus Zamero, let Deezus Zamero do a show in early in the morning. See if that'll get the same views as it got late night. That's all I gotta say. Regardless of the fact, DJ Akademiks has come a long way. Dude's not just some dude living in the mountains basement. I'm not saying he doesn't or whatever. I'm saying he's not just some dude. The guy's a college educated guy. The guy has a degree. The guy is, doing what he loves. He plays video games. He does stuff for Complex. He does his YouTube on the side. He's a hustler, and that's all but good. But when you look at, and what really set me off, because I initially was gonna put off this video, what really set me off was I'm on Facebook. I just got up like a while back, and I'm on Facebook. Same way I got up and I screened Charlemagne going in on Rob Kardashian, where I was waiting for him to do that, and then I created my video on Charlemagne. Same reason. I went on Facebook. I saw All Def Digital. This made me mad. This put me through the roof, because, and this is why I don't subscribe to Complex. This is why I don't subscribe to All Def. This is why I don't subscribe to Uprocks or any of these magazine media outlets. And and of course I'm sounding a little hypocritical, because if they offer me money, I'll take it. But since they're not offering money, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I saw a title on one of All Def Media's videos, Cycle 2, when they do memes. But this is All Def Media here I'm talking about. And they straight up said, is 2017 a year for Akademiks taking L's. I've never seen an individual take a beating the way that Akademiks took a beating. And that's a damn shame, because that shouldn't be happening. But it's happening. And, yeah, they mentioned the Vic Mensa situation. Vic Mensa had his right to say what he wanted to say. I felt like Vic Mensa was acting tough, And I know the real reason why Desus and Mero wants to diss Akademiks, by the way. Trust me. I've heard from a great source why they're doing this. But I'm not going to say it here. Desus and Mero pretty much, Vic Mensa pretty much was like, I didn't like how you talked about the war in Iraq, and, he had every right to. Maybe Akademiks shouldn't have been funny about it. He was just reporting news like anybody else, as he said, but maybe shouldn't have been disrespectful to some of the people who were, because people have lost their lives. Some of these Chicago rappers have been to the funerals. That's fine. Akademiks shouldn't go to Chicago. I don't want to go to Chicago either. At least I don't want to go to the poor parts. I'm definitely going with protection. Hey, Carcino, you gonna help me out here? Anyway, so that was what it is. The Erykah Badu thing, tell him that he looks like Jerry the Mouse. That made no fucking sense. Not dissing Erykah Badu, but how is that an L? That makes no sense. That's retarded. It's a she was just being funny. Come on, y'all being ridiculous. The Migos situation, that's not an L. The Migos situation has nothing to do with Akademiks. That was all Joe Budden. That was ridiculous. Joe Budden leaving the show, once again, that's not Akademiks. That was all Joe Budden. But the Desus and Mero situation, that was foul. And that's a shame, because Desus and Mero should know better. And for Charlemagne to say what he said about Akademiks, having his response, and people clown Akademiks because, people are like, oh, he's being emotional, he's being a crybaby. Now, I know, Grizzy Hendrix had his response. The rapper, anyone check him out, he's dope. But ultimately, Grizzy Hendrix said, look, I want him to do good, but he's making himself vulnerable, which he is. He's making himself vulnerable because these people in the industry are kicking him. And this is where I want a lot of people who are trying to come off social media should pay close attention. Carcino is right. These people don't respect Akademiks, and that's a shame. We can clown Akademiks for being emotional, but you know what? I'm gonna say it straight up. Y'all would act the same way. Maybe not Carcino, maybe not the others in the industry, but any regular fan watching this, thinking that you're the fan of the Bodega Gang. I'm once again not going to attack Desus and Mero, but because this is not my channel, I'm not here to attack people. Maybe Charlemagne, but not the others, because I don't know too much about Desus and Mero. But regardless, if y'all are in that same position as Akademiks, y'all would be stressed out too. What Charlemagne did was really weak. That was definitely messed up, because Charlemagne had no faith in Akademiks, saying that his show would wouldn't last, making fun of his weight, then acting like he's his fan, and like, Akademiks went on Charlamagne's show, but Charlamagne never went on Everyday Struggle when Joe was there. And when Everyday Struggle blew up, he got mad about that. Like, why are you getting mad about it, bro? Now all of a sudden you wish the show to fail, and then you say what you gotta say, and you got Akademiks here asking for your advice, and you're clowning him regardless on live, which is it's wrong. It's messed up because this guy idolized you, and I'm gonna tell Akademiks straight up, the guy you interviewed, Charlamagne Lamont, the guy you interviewed back in 2013 is not that same guy anymore. This guy has definitely gone to a different plateau where he's at, and that's not a good thing. I've said what I've said before on my video, and I've repeated. He's an opportunist. He goes after what's hot. So once Joe Budden left the show, now all of a sudden he wants Joe Budden to go on his show. And I'm going to tell everyone right here, right now, I'm not supporting it. Kudos for Joe for signing the $5 million deal, but at what cost? Why? So Charlamagne can have his own everyday struggle? It's not going to work that way. Joe Budden may be outspoken, but it worked because Joe Budden was doing what he did when it came to the new generation. He was saying what he said about the new generation. He was sparking controversy. Everyday Struggle worked. Charlamagne was mad because Everyday Struggle was definitely beating out Ebro in the morning. So Ebro can't even talk crap about Akademiks anymore. And that's what I gotta say about Deezus and Mero. Yeah, they may be number one on TV at late night, but you want to know something? See if they can compete against Everyday Struggle and watch them get blown out, because they've had bigger moments within 1 year than I can remember Deezus and Mero. I'm pretty sure Deezus and Mero got some good stuff going on. That's what I'm saying. I'm not dissing them. But it'd be a different story if their show was early in the morning. Facts. Talaferio, do you agree with me or not? Exactly. I've said this before. Akademiks is the face. I've never said this publicly, but Akademiks is the face of the younger generation when it comes to hip-hop. People my age and younger, 25 and younger, he is the face of those people. And to see the industry clown him, because that's what Deezus and Mero are. I'm sorry. Y'all claim to be real, and you guys are. I'm not taking that away from you. But you guys work for the industry. If you're doing all these looks with bigger names and bigger platforms, sure, your brand is strong, but there's a difference between stable and growing. Because I peeped your numbers. Then that just lets me know that Akademiks' numbers are just that strong when it comes to the audience. And nobody was able to get the younger audience but Akademiks. And Charlamagne sees that. Sure, Breakfast Club could be number one when it comes to urban markets, in some outlets at least. But Breakfast Club lost. The minute the younger audience started seeing what Charlamagne was doing later on these years, when it came to the election, when it came to, all the shock stuff that he couldn't say anymore. And I think the number one thing that did it was him, giving himself Donkey of the Day because he feels like he's one of the sexual predators trying to get rid of the problem. No. Charlamagne just did that because he knew that it would make him look good. He figured if he turns down doing an interview with Danielle Bregoli, aka the Cash Me Outside girl, that it would make him look good. Once again, we're all forgetting this guy tried to do an interview with Tommy Loren, and then telling black woke woman to get a platform, but yet the black community is better off without Jason Whitlock. He's right there with him. And Jason Whitlock knew he would hit him with that. That's why Charlamagne would never respond to Jason Whitlock. Talk about, I won't respond to you until you lose weight. Why? Anyway, back to matters that mean stuff. Charlamagne was jealous that Akademiks was blowing up. Deezus and Mero, not saying they're jealous or not, Deezus and Mero felt the need to attack them for other reasons. You know, Ebro felt the need to attack Akademiks. And now when I see All Def Media attack Akademiks, by the way, All Def Media, y'all gotta take an L for that, because we know y'all trying to compete with Complex, and that's some messed up stuff. And Carcino, I'm still a fan of you. You know, I still follow you, I still watch your stuff, but what you said on Akademiks was wrong. I understand you're trying to make a point about why Akademiks is still an everyday struggle, which is fine, but you don't need to make constant videos on him, you know. And I'm being very respectful, but you have to understand that, you know, fans are starting to get turned off. And I get that you're just trying to make a point, and whether what Akademiks is doing is corny, making a fake account to address you, I get it. But you don't have to keep making videos over and over and over again. It makes no sense. And just amongst other things, you know, I know Carcino's just another internet guy. He's not industry himself, but it just shows that, you know, the beating that Akademiks is taking, the non-respect that he doesn't get from the industry, because they don't like the fact that he came off the internet. And this is where it gets to my people trying to come with their platform. The reason why you have to pay attention to what I say is very simple. Do you see what Akademiks is going through? You see people are just really going in on him. You guys have to take into account that this could happen to you as well. You know, to the college kids, you know, to college kids, to Dom's Live. You know, I know Taufel works within ESPN and whatnot, but he has a platform as, you know, an internet guy. You know what I mean? Fantana, who obviously has some kind of rapport with Akademiks, who's also the internet guy, you know, internet's biggest music nerd. All the internet people coming up off the internet. You seen how Kevin Hart was doing Michael Blackson, you know, once he started capitalizing on Kevin Hart's scandal. You know, at first people loved Michael Blackson. Breakfast Club loved Michael Blackson until he started talking about it. Now all of a sudden, Michael Blackson's an Instagram thought, which makes no sense. You know what I mean? And you heard Mike, and you know, what does that say for us? What does that say for people trying to come up? What does that say for people who are on the come up? You know, Katie, I see you. You know, what does that say for King Batch? What does that say for Amanda Kearney? You know, what does that say for what does that say for a lot of social media people out there trying to come up on the internet? The industry does not respect us. They don't respect us. And that's a great thing, because we intimidate these people, because fans are gravitating towards us because the internet is blowing up more and more people are finding ways to be creative with the internet. And the industry hates that, because apparently they've worked so hard. Deezus and Mero has worked so hard. Charlamagne has worked since 2000. That's how long he's been in radio, and he's just getting big. after 2013, 2014. Charlamagne is just getting big, you know. Once Drake gave him those bottles and he started getting these looks with these black guys, he's just making it in his 30s. Meanwhile, everyone else is struggling, you know what I mean? Everyone else, it's taking them years. While DJ Akademiks, who just came up in 2013, getting sponsored by Google, doing these videos, getting his money, getting a bigger deal with Complex thanks to Joe Budden, and just blowing up within just less than a year, blowing up. People hate that, and now people try to tear him down. So, although, yeah, maybe it's wrong that, you know, he didn't leave what Joe Budden, as said, but you know what? I'm rooting for him, and now I want to watch Everyday Struggle. Now I hope Akademiks does good. And if he does eventually sell out and becomes the others, you know, it is what it is. But you know what? Until then, I'm riding for Akademiks, because I am no longer a fan of Charlamagne. I literally unfollowed him to, you know, after what I've heard. And Akademiks, if it's one thing I have to let you know, because I do have small complaints, but I'm just going to wrap it up with this. $50 Cent said it best. These industry niggas aren't your friends. They know how to pretend. Remember that. Stop trying to be these people's friends. If they want to hang out with you, they can. But stop demanding respect. Stop saying you're a fan. You can be a fan, but stop being like, oh, I'm not going to attack them. Stop. Handle your business. Stay on your grind. Be more aggressive. Stop letting people like Young Jeezy, you know, attack you. Stop letting people like Vic Mensa attack you. Stop letting people like Jesus, you know, attack you. And I'm not talking about going on your base, or, sorry, I don't want to disrespect you. I'm not saying going on your Twitch and addressing these people. You need to learn how to be firm with these people. You know, Vic Mensa sitting around here, if I'm in the room, Vic Mensa would be like, oh, I could have went over there and slapped you. I would have been like, you know what? Go ahead. See if I don't sue Jay-Z. Rockefeller, Live Nation, Rock Nation, they're getting, they give me every single cent you hit me. So go ahead, since you want to be a tough guy. You know, if you don't want to talk respectively, you know, Young Jeezy, oh, I don't respect your opinion. Well, you know what? The fuck you on my show for? Get the fuck out my show. You know what I mean? You need to learn how to start standing up to some of these people, you know. These people are not your friends. Your idols, including Charlamagne, has quickly became your rivals. And you need to come in with that mind state of not trusting a single person in this industry. And that goes for anybody trying to build a social media platform. Do not trust anybody. Because it's a damn shame that you try to come up and you quickly see the jealousy in a lot of people. In a lot of people's eyes, you see the jealousy. You see them try to tear you apart once you start getting bigger and bigger. And it's a damn shame. Because these people were once in his shoes. With that being said, anybody in social media trying to come up, remember this and remember that. Because once you get into the industry, you start seeing stuff. That's why I didn't have a problem with Akademiks nearly getting emotional, because it's people like it's snakes like Charlamagne, it's people like Deezus Zamero and others kicking him while he's down. Because that's all. Akademiks just had a is going through a low part. It's natural. Y'all not gonna act like y'all ain't have that same mentality. Maybe y'all wouldn't have made it public, and I would have understand that making it public. But Akademiks is starting to see more. And when I saw Akademiks on his Twitch and saying, you know, people, I'm starting to see how these things in the industry knows. Good. It's about time you start growing tougher skin. It's about time now you gotta start standing up to these people. And once you do that, because you're only my age, you're 26. You will only get better from there. And that's all I'm going to leave it at. This is Jhammaster J, wishing everybody trying to go on top the best when it comes to social media. Signing off with a crotch grab. Jhammaster J out.